After that scene that we just saw, Esther wants to get back in touch with him, but she can't see him. And so she asks him to record on a tape recorder his voice. And he talks here then about how he felt the day after his brother committed suicide, and how he went out onto the rooftop. It started to rain, and it seemed so miserable, the picture of misery, but it wasn't so bad. The birds, the sky, the moist and crumbling cement, I understood them better, I think. What he's kind of referring to is the fact that the birds can fly away from all their troubles. And he, on that day, wanted to escape from his situation that he was in. But ever since, he has felt trapped by that situation. And so he makes constant references to a feeling of being underneath things. Later, Esther listens to this tape, and this is after Ernie has started living in Nathan and Claire's car, and they're living under an underpass, under an overpass. And he feels like hearing the cars rushing above him, like he is at the bottom of a river, which of course his brother jumped into a river to commit suicide. So the metaphor of being under things, being trapped under things, is him being trapped under the circumstances of his brother's suicide, which he cannot escape from. His brother being an escape artist. It all kind of ties together. Now Esther has an issue because her sexuality made Ernie not be there when Howard committed suicide, so she is now dating somebody else, but she doesn't want to have sex with the guy because she is afraid of her femininity, and she feels like she is to blame in a way. And so all throughout the story, we have scenes where people show an interest in her as a woman, and she gets upset at that. Now, oftentimes it's also very patronizing, the way that people are interested. Like here, the guy is grinding into her when they are in bed asleep, and he is naked, and she's completely uninterested in that. I just want to go to work, basically. And when she says, "I'd like to get an early start, get to work early," he replies, "You'd like to get as far away from me as possible is what you'd like to do." Also, in her interactions in her job with customers, whenever she is, called sweetheart or doll face or anything by various customers, she always shows a great resentment for that, because she doesn't like being reminded that she's an attractive woman. And so you see in the one panel on the top right, she imagines punching the guy out. Anytime it's a dream sequence, the panel borders get rounded off instead of square, escaping into dreams and fantasy. And so she imagines punching the guy in the face for marginalizing her, in particular in relation to her sexuality. Later, in fact, when Nathan ends up ripping off the coffee shop and stealing from her, she tries to chase him down in the street and is running after Nathan's car. He's really just pissed off. And this guy on the street says that she's built like a brick shit house, and basically, again, pointing out her sexuality. She's had enough, so she does actually deck the guy. This caused a lot of problems for her. She loses her job. She breaks her hand. She is going to be sued by the guy that punched her. She didn't have any money to be sued for anyway, but it leads her to cut off all of her hair so that she has a more butch haircut, basically, so that she looks more asexual. And I chose to show this scene because down at the bottom, oh gosh. All right, I'll try to rush. Down at the bottom, you can see that there's two little birds there looking, and the birds are facing away from each other, just like Ernie and Esther are not together. Whenever we see birds in relation to Esther, the birds are taking flight again, escaping from the problem. And what she wants to do is disappear, get away from all of her issues. So two different scenes, two different occasions where the bird's taking flight. She has left Ernie's life, and now, because she's lost her job, she basically wants to run away from all these problems that are Al's chief symbol that represents his baggage is his hat. Being at the nursing home, he has lost his hat. Ernie keeps his hat for him. And the hat, if you look at the page or the panel on the left side, there's a poster of Al when he was young and in his performing days wearing that hat. So the hat basically represents the times when things were good and when all his friends were alive and basically all of that. But Al kind of feels trapped because he is old and feels like, he's not in touch with the present as much as he should be. And so any time that happens, you can see kind of a cage or a net or crossed bars reflecting in his glasses, like in this scene when he accidentally calls Ernie Eddie, his old partner. You can see in the panel in the middle there that the bars from the window are reflecting in his glasses. Very close to the end of the story, he refers to all the wires and power lines as like a big net with us on the inside, drawing tighter and tighter. And what does he do then? He flips it off. He's like, fuck you, I want to escape. Again, a lot of characters want to escape the circumstances that they're